What's going on, everybody? It's time for another episode of Ron and Jack's podcast. So last week we brought you guys the It review, or whatever it was we did, the It review, after we saw the viewing for it. I think we gave you guys all of our thoughts on that movie. It's recommended to go see it for sure. I thought it was really good. And I think Jack thought it was really good as well. We also posted up that Wendy's video that was sort of obnoxious and humorous that took place last week as well. So hopefully you guys checked all that stuff out. So I guess this is just going to be a normal podcast. I think we got some stuff to talk about, from this past week. I have like an opening thought. I guess it's sort of like... I know, like, a lot of, like, I guess our parents' generation...
What's the agenda?
The agenda today?
Yeah.
Well, I think we're going to get into opening thoughts. Main points today. I don't have, like, a ton to really discuss with main points. We're going to see what we get into with that. 100%. I think I have a few things maybe written down on my phone that we're going to have to look through. But, I think we want to get into a few main points, and then we'll just have, like, our closing thoughts and stuff. It'll be, like, a normal podcast, Right. So I'm guessing there's not going to be much different with this podcast than, like, other ones besides, like, our review last week. So, I just want to get into, like, the opening thought / like, first thing I really want to talk about today, I guess, is, I guess the first thing I really want to talk about is, I know how there's, like, a lot of, like, debate, I guess, right now, or maybe, like, I don't even want to say tension, but, like, I guess there's always been, like, sort of, like, our generation's better than your generation type of thing with, like, the millennials and, like, their parents' generation compared to our generation, and, like, differences, and, like, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like, differences between the generations, like, that leads to, like, discussions / arguments between, like, the generations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
So, like, what I want to say was, like,
Okay.
So, I'm not, like, I know a few engineers, I know a lot of engineers, and know a lot of really good engineers. So, in the field that I work in, like, I've known one really, really good engineer. Like, really, really good engineer. Like, taught me a lot. Very, very strong engineer. Like, very good skills in the field. Was just very, very bright. And, like, was at a point, like, is it a point right now that I want to get to, like, when I'm, like, at his age or, like, at his level of engineering? Like, whenever that may be. I want to get to that level. So... He's really, really good, and he's leaving the company, like the company he works for. He's leaving them because he found a better job. But he would have never found another job if it wasn't for someone at that company, like, reaming him, like, in an email or something, and, like, pissing him off so he wanted to leave. So, like, I was talking to other people that are, like, older.
So you're saying he was, like, content with his job?
He was content with his job. He loved working for the place that he was working for. But what ended up happening...
Right.
Oh, it's just a thing for, like, something else. Sorry, it's like a phone message. But, he was really content with where he was working at. Like, loved his job. Like, basically everything you want to be. Like, you want to love your job. You want to go to work and actually enjoy what you're doing. So, he was at that point in his life where he was really content. And he, like, had to drive far to get to his work. Like, and he was still content with working there. Like, he loved working there. But it ended up sort of changing when some guy sort of went in his neck and sort of, like, reamed him, and he felt like he was like, not appreciated. You know what I mean? That's, like, I feel like that's, like, the worst feeling you could ever feel, like, when you're at a job and, like, they're working you hard and you're just not appreciated for it. Like, someone reams you, makes you feel like shit, and you just feel not appreciated for it. So what he did was he ended up putting his resume out, seeing if he could get, like, any potential people or any potential jobs that may be more of interest to him. So he ends up doing that, like, I guess, like, what I heard from, like, older people that work in, like, industry, they were like, the problem with, like, millennials nowadays, like, they're too soft, like, they can't, like, take, like, something, like, they immediately, like, get quit or leave what they're doing after someone, like, complains at them once, and, like, my argument for that is, like, no, why the fuck should you have to sit there and endure shit from somebody when you've given so much shit to that place? If you want to move, you can move. Like, why are you being criticized for being pissed that someone's reaming you out when you didn't deserve to be reamed out? Like, why is that against the individual that wants to leave? Like, why is that like a generational thing? Like, why do people in the other, like, in our parents'
Wait, so
generation?
you're saying this person was in our gen?
No, this person is early, like, he's probably like in his early 30s, so he's not in our generation, but he's like like just above our generation. Like, he's not like in our parents' generation. But the person that was like complaining about being like, oh, like the problem with the millennials, they're too soft. Like, your generation's like too soft. Like, they can't like handle criticism and shit like that. And I was just like, I was thinking about it. I was like, no, like, why the fuck should someone have to go to work every day and not feel appreciated? And you expect them to fucking stay there? Like, you expect them to just be like, oh, whatever, like, you know, like, oh, I'm just coming to work, like, and everything will be fine the next day, when you completely ream somebody. Like, there's always gonna be times at work where, like, someone bitches at you or something, but that's different. Like, from what I was hearing about this situation is, like, the guy went way out of line with it. Like,
the other guy.
yeah, like, the guy was, like, bitching at him, you know? And this guy was, like, one of their best engineers, too, and now he's just gone.
Really? Wow.
So it's like so now he's gone. Like, he found another job, and now he's going somewhere else. But my, like, thoughts on it was
How's
like,
that a generational thing, though?
well, no, I was just saying, like, how, like, the people I was talking to that are in, like, our parents' generation were saying, like, that's, like, a millennial thing.
Oh, they equated
Yeah,
it to
they
that?
equated it to that. That's what I was saying.
So people said that?
Yeah, people were saying
Multiple
that.
people or
Multiple
just one
people.
person?
People that I was talking to that are in that, like, that are older, that I've told about the story to, and that know about it.
Like, is there more details to the story?
That's the story. That, like, the story was that I don't know anything that was said in the email or anything like that, or whatever was said to him that made that happen, but I'm assuming that it was bad, considering that he put his resume out shortly after that.
I don't get, like, why people are dissing that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand that either. Like, I don't understand.
You're saying a lot of people dissed that?
I was saying, like, people
Did he get a better job? Did he get it?
Yeah, better job. But
so that's just
yeah, so that's just leaving.
I don't get
that's just leaving for a better job. I don't get it either. But the thing I was, like, equating it to is, well, like, our parents' generation always says, like, millennials are soft or something, or they can't, like, handle, like, people, like, bitching at them or, like, yelling at them or something. And it's like,
I think you have. Here's another thing, though. Like, an example of that would be someone who is working a job, and then they quit that job, and then they don't, like, get another job. They just quit that job to quit that job.
yeah.
But you're saying this person didn't quit. He found another job.
Yeah, he found another job, but he was content with his job until that incident happened, and then he put his resume out. It was like, you know what, I can do something better now.
Yeah, but he upgraded.
Exactly, and it ended up working out for him anyway.
So how's that the same thing as you saying millennials are, like, complaining, and then they upgrade?
Yeah, no, that's what I don't understand either.
It doesn't make
it doesn't make any sense. But that's what, like, the older that's what the people in, like, our parents'
I think they're saying that they say some people just quit and they don't upgrade. They just quit to quit.
That's a different story, though. I'm saying
that's the only story that makes sense to me.
I'm saying I don't get it, but I was saying, based on, like, the story I'm telling you, is that, like, people were like, oh, he, like, just, like, left because of one, like, argument.
Yeah, but he didn't leave. He upgraded.
He didn't. Yeah, he wasn't trying to do that, though. It just ended up happening that way. That's what I'm saying. The only reason why he ended up doing that, dude, was because of what happened with, like, the argument.
But he's better off.
Yeah. But the thing is, some people don't think like that. Some people are like, oh, I'm happy with my MIT job or whatever I'm working at. Why the hell do I have to fucking leave that job? Like, why, I don't want to leave it. Even if I do get offered more money, I'm not going to leave it. Some people are like that.
Yeah, I know, but he left because, it made sense. Right?
Well, he left because it made sense, and he left because whatever he felt this guy did to him was, like, crossing the line or, like, something like that. You know what I mean?
He didn't want to work in that environment.
Yeah.
And he found a better job.
Yeah. So it's a win. It's a win for him. It's a win.
It's a win for him. I don't get that.
It's a win for him.
No, but I just find it funny. I think what a lot of people are talking about, though, are, like, kids that are dropping out of school and then or starting something and not finishing it.
Yeah,
I think that's
but
more.
You can't say that about this dude. This dude worked there for like a decade or plus.
No, that's why that doesn't.
It doesn't make any sense that argument is being put out there.
I think with the generational thing, though, is that's what they're saying.
Yeah, maybe.
They're saying that kids don't endure the same hardships as they did back in the day.
Yeah, true. Because
they didn't endure the same hardships that they they're more comfortable with, or they have more comfort from not doing as much. I think we talked about this before too, where you were saying like back in ancient Rome, like people's biggest concern was surviving the next day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Where now people's biggest concern is like, what did I get my Snapchat story up today? Like, it's a completely different times, you know.
But I mean, the older generations, they grew up, they did not have the same luxuries as us, right?
Exactly.
You know, they just simple things like the building infrastructure wasn't
the
as
health
good.
is better.
Healthcare is
you
so
know,
much.
like
I mean, I know people complain a lot about it, but you know, the technology and the advancements in medicine and stuff.
People don't complain about
are so more advanced that you are more you live more comfortably.
Yeah, people don't complain about like the healthcare. They complain about the system that controls the healthcare.
Yeah, no, but let me throw this.
Like,
let me just throw this out there for a second.
Yeah.
Is you can agree that, you know, standards of living have improved since, you know, the 1950s till right now, correct?
Yeah.
So people back, you know, in the day, you know, they had to endure a lot more hardships generally.
Yeah.
You know, just with living than probably around today. So when, you know, our parents are like our grandparents, you know, had to work on the railroads every day in the morning.
Yeah.
They're used to that type of work. They were saying when I grew up, you know, I had to, you know, go work outside, work on, you know, how to do all this hard labor and stuff because that was a living. That was how they lived. And now you really don't have to. I mean, you can buy a house and everything's all set up for you.
Yep.
You know, you don't really have to do much work.
Yeah.
So I think that's more what they're equating it to is people are more comfortable with just being everyday stuff.
Yeah.
So, let me see how's it gonna tie that back in. So you know, I think like a kid like doesn't grow up with the same hard labor that someone, you know, in ancient Rome had to grow up with. So that's why they're saying, oh, like kids don't work as hard as they did back in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't have to churn your own butter and milk your cow.
Yeah.
You can just go to the store. You can order that stuff online now. You can order it on Amazon.
It's like the old saying, like, don't work harder, work smarter. You know, it's like we just continue to improve on that. We continue to become smarter, which makes it less work.
Yeah, but the trade-off is things cost a lot more.
Yeah, the trade-off is things cost a lot more, which is like one of the things that like I feel like it's like something so stupid to complain about though with like the older generation like always bitching about it. Like I feel like it's like sort of like you're bitching about it, but yet you could have adapted yourself to the times changing and made it just as easier in your life now.
But that situation doesn't make it. Yeah, that situation doesn't make as much sense as to that argument because you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy had a job, you know. Someone, I don't know how detailed this is, but you're saying that he had a good job, and then someone
pissed him off.
Well, I wouldn't even say that. Some factor became he didn't like
unbearable,
or undesirable. Is a better word.
There's somewhere the grass is greener on the other side.
Yeah, so he took an opportunity.
Yeah.
And made better out of it. So I don't know how anyone can complain about that. I don't see how that. Maybe the boss or whatever was complaining about them leaving all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But I don't see how that's a complaint, especially if he's doing better off. I think what people are complaining about though are people or kids that I don't know if I want to steer this so far in this direction, but they're like kids that are, you know, asking for more and not taking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not taking.
That's a valid complaint.
Not taking what they should have at the value. I don't know how to explain that one right.
It's more like I think what you're trying to say is like people that are expecting to have it all like right away just because they've like done like two things that everyone's doing now, which is like nowadays it's more of like a norm to go to college.
Well, okay, I don't know.
Than it was when our parents.
I don't know how much I want to steer it in this direction, but let me just put this, and then maybe we can cap it off here. I don't know how far you want to go into this, but oh wait, what is this?
I was just going to notes.
Got a review. I was pulling up some notes.
Yeah, I was just going to notes real quick. I don't think I have much on here though. Yeah, I don't have much on here because I didn't put the notes down. But yeah, what do you
Well,
want
no,
to
I
do?
just
What
want
do you want
to
to say?
say an example is like, so basically, right? Like everyone. Here, no,
Yeah.
I'll wait for you.
No, it's fine. Fine, you can go. I'm listening.
So one example is a kid that goes to college comes out of college and then what are you looking up like news and stuff?
I'm just looking at the Facebook news feed real quick. No, I'm listening to you though. I'm listening to you. Carmelo Anthony's gone to the Thunder.
Really?
Yeah, it's another.
Wow.
Pretty crazy. But all right, continue what you're saying.
No, I was just gonna say some kids that like graduate college and then they instantly want to be like high up manager, high up.
Yeah.
High up. I forget like administrator roles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and they like all they did was just the same as
They
everyone
sat
else.
in a class.
Everyone,
They sat in a
but
classroom.
guess who else?
Everyone else did that.
Every other 20-year-old kid did.
Why
the
are
same
they
thing.
special? Why
So,
are they special?
But
That's the question.
But what your point? I think what you've made this point before is that you have to take just you're basically just coming out with the same value as everyone else, and you have to work your way up.
Yeah, exactly.
To get that thing, and a lot of people just expect to be, I should be the policymaker right away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I should be the policymaker on like education reform right away. Because that's what I should just do. Because I graduated from college and I have a degree and I sat in a classroom with about 100 other education majors, but I'm the special one that needs to reform everything for this one place.
Yeah, and even this though is if when you graduate with engineering degree or whatever, now you have to go work as an engineer, as an entry level engineer.
Yeah, and grind up.
Yeah, and then you got to go up to like junior level.
It's
and then
grinding.
Senior,
it's a grind.
And then it takes a while. You don't go in as director of engineering right away.
Yeah, you put it.
So you have to literally, you have to literally.
It's
I'm right
ludicrous
about
that people
I'm
actually
right
think
this.
about.
You have to
right.
have
You
like
are
10 years of experience under your belt before you can become the director of engineering or something. And some kids think that like, should come out of whatever my degree is, not ever work in my industry, and just become the director of the whole thing.
And then there's some dumb places that end up hiring these people, and the company ends up falling. The company ends up falling apart faster than you can even like read about. Like.
Okay. All right.
So it's
all right. Next time.
that happens though. It's fucking crazy. Like I don't understand how the hell. Like how ludicrous is it to think that? Like how the hell can you come out of school and just think, hey, I deserve to be the so and so director of so and so department.
Well, you don't exactly, and you don't start off as a principal of a high school, right?
Exactly, you don't.
You can't just say I'm going to be the principal.
You start as like a teacher assistant, dude. You start as like an assistant.
Yeah.
It's like running a laboratory. Do you become the assistant lab manager, or are you the head lab manager out of school? Like, what are you gonna be most likely? Like you have because like.
But I think kids definitely have a hard time understanding that.
Yeah, it's hard to understand because I think what people don't understand is that when you go into a company, it's not structured like school in any way. It's completely structured differently. There is so much more shit to it. Like, there's a lot of shit to like running a business that people don't understand. Like I work in fucking mechanical contracting. Like the one thing that like we do all the plumbing and shit, but we don't have a contract to do any duct work, so we don't touch the duct work on buildings.
Yeah.
It's like shit like that. Like you have to know that kind of shit. Like there's just crazy shit like that you just need to know when you go into a company. And if I was like given the head position, I wouldn't know any of that shit. I could never do it. That's why I feel like some people just overvalue themselves. You need to realize that you're at a low value and you have to work your way up in value. You don't fucking start at fucking 150K. You work your way up from like 50 to 150K. That's how you do it. Like that's how people are supposed to do it. I can see why people get frustrated. People that think like that, because it frustrates me that people think like that. But that's just how,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we all have to work our way up. Why should someone else feel so entitled to not have to do that?
I'll put this on record just for document purposes. I don't know if you've probably heard this before. Like there's an interview question that a lot of people ask, and it's like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Or maybe it's kind of like that, but people say
like, what do you see future wise?
Yeah, or like where do you expect to be in 5 years?
Yeah.
Like what do you expect? And I think a lot of kids will just be like, oh, like I want to be like the boss or something.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I want to be the boss. I just
be
want to be the boss of this place that I'm getting interviewed at right now. They don't know
well,
anything
no,
about
they
it
don't
yet.
say that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's kind of like
That's what they think,
that's
though.
but that's what you think, or you think like, oh, I want to be, I want to be promoted, or you know, but you don't really understand until you start getting into it. Because I haven't really been in industry long, but I can say that there's so much you have to like.
You learn things
so
every
much you
day
can
too.
learn.
That's the other thing. You learn every day.
Yeah, you
You're
do.
literally learning every day.
There's the amount of knowledge and stuff behind just like small. I mean, industries and fields. They're not as small as you think they are. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people probably think like, oh, like the lighting industry is like, oh, it's just a bunch of like light bulbs and stuff. Like that's easy. But like there's so much that like actually goes into it. That like to actually be really good at that is you're gonna take years of like
people would see like a drawing for a building. They'd be like, I could do that. Like they'd see it and be like, I could do it. It's like, dude, do you know like some of the stuff that gets tied in there is like code wise. You have to like put a note like how to tie that in properly to have it code like to the proper code. Like if you put hangers on the fucking ductwork in like certain places or the hangers aren't right and like the fucking construction gets screwed up, like there's so much coordination, like in a lot of fields, like at least where I work, there's a lot of coordination in construction, like
and just the practices and the methodology and stuff.
Why
and
things are done is the biggest thing.
Yeah, and like the document, like how you document and stuff, and all that stuff, is gonna take you like more than I don't know, maybe I think probably more than 5 years to actually like have a really good solid solid understanding of it. And then at that point, then you can say, okay, well, now maybe, I mean, probably even, I don't know, I say you need like a really good amount of experience and knowledge before you can become like the top dog.
Yeah,
because especially when you're the top dog, you should be able to do all the work that is thrown at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you should, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like the people that you manage, I mean, like, are just there to like kind of help out, and then you can mentor them up. I don't know. I mean, I don't really like. I'm saying like I'm kind of new anyways, so I don't really know a lot. But I'm just saying that there's like so much that goes into it. Is my point.
There's like a lot more than what people think. Like,
so when you say like, where do you think you'd be in 5 years? I'm saying like, I just hope to like learn my foundation, learn my fundamentals.
Yeah.
And like really know how to tackle problems and stuff. Because that's the whole.
That's the whole enchilada.
That's the meat and the potatoes of it.
Yeah.
Really.
It takes a long time to like get up in industry, and get your way through it and navigate.
And especially teachers, I think you can't just teach like one what's the word? One school year and say, I know everything. You need to have like a lot of different classrooms and stuff. I don't know. I'm just guessing, but I would assume like you know what I mean. You need to have more than one class to understand like what it's like.
Yeah, like if you're trying to get into policy or something and like you've never taught a day in your life, then you shouldn't be in policy.
Well, I think it's education policy.
Yeah, like reform, like education reform and policy and shit. Like it's a fucking joke.
I don't know how much it's true, but I heard like in medicine and stuff, like a lot of people want to be like healthcare managers.
Yeah.
But like not actually, they're not like working in healthcare. They just go straight up to the manager.
You know what those people do too, dude? They fuck up your entire industry. They literally fuck up your entire thing. They don't know anything, and then they come in there and they try telling you how to do your job or like when you can get your job done. And the problem with them too, dude, is they usually push out shit way too fucking quick.
Oh, well, that's something I didn't. You don't realize this in school. You don't realize this in school. Or just at all until you start doing it, is you always wonder why. You're like, oh, like why does the Xbox have so many bugs in it, or like why does my iPhone need
why is this so fucked up right now, basically,
or why does my car need to be like recalled? Because basically there's deadlines for all these.
There's business people pushing this shit out.
Yeah, and it's a lot of like marketing deadlines. I was saying this to Ron the other day. Like when the PlayStation 4 comes out, Xbox is like, we need to get our system out right now. So they'll just push it out even if it's not done yet because.
And the technicians can't do anything because they get paid less. They have their hands tied behind their back.
And then it comes
back they'll lose their job. Yeah. And then the shit comes back to them later on. And then they're expected that they did it wrong. They're basically told they did it wrong and that it has to be fixed and like redone.
But
it's like, how does that make any fucking sense?
It has to work like that, because if you didn't, if everyone was like a perfectionist, like nothing would ever be finished. It would like take 10 years to make an iPhone, because everyone was like, it has to be perfect. You know what I mean? They can't. You have to at some point. You know, you have to give out. You have to sell. You have to make money. If you're not selling, you're not making money. You don't have a company.
Yeah.
But that's another thing I wanted to bring. I kind of want to tie into is I was talking to, this was a while ago. I was talking to this kid. He was from San Francisco, but he was in Boston for something. And I was talking to him, and I guess he's been an engineer for like 8 years or something.
Oh,
he was
wow.
saying, or maybe it wasn't. It was like 5 or 8 years he's been an engineer.
Yeah.
And he was saying like he wants to get out of engineering into a different field. And I was saying, and he was asking me how I like it, and I was like, you know what, I really like it. I really like how much you learn, and hey, I think if you go from being an engineer to another field, like you're gonna take all that knowledge you have from you with, you know, moving forward, and I think that's a good. It'll put you in a good position, at least, for having a background.
You could
as
go
an
into like the
engineer.
business side of like engineering.
Well, no, he was saying he just wants to, like, you know,
try other things.
Yes, probably like start his own little thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they're huge with that in San
A lot of
Francisco.
engineers do that though. A lot of them will go out and try to start up their own startup company.
Yeah. That's what this kid was talking about. But
yeah.
but I mean, a lot of people don't realize that to do something, or for him, or people like him to do to do a startup or something. Once they have the 8 years of engineering and work experience, you have a much better chance and understanding of the business than if you just try to start off right away, like hit the ground. Because if you don't really, if you try to hit the ground right away with none of that experience, then it's, you know what I mean. It's not. It's just you're going to a gunfight with nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's stupid. It's what it is. It's stupidity.
You're about to fight Conor McGregor with no like professional fighting experience at all. You know what I mean? But a lot of people just say like, oh, like, well, you see it. I don't know how much you've seen this, but like you see a lot of kids, like on social media and stuff, and YouTube and things. They're like, oh, like I started my company, I'm a millionaire now. And but like you know, like you can't just go ahead and like jump into something right off the bat. And you're so much better off, you know, if you work at, you know, if you're in, you know, here's I don't know how good this example is, but you know, if like say you like work as in the computer industry for like 10 years, and then after learning all that stuff and picking up on that, like you go to like make your own like next Microsoft or something. But after you've been doing all that, you know what I mean? Like that makes much more sense to me than people just saying, "Oh, I just want to go ahead and try to like do this or whatever," without ever having like a huge background in it. And I mean, I guess some kids, you know, are like making a lot of, you know, are doing, can do it, I guess.
Yeah, they
I'm
end
not
up
sure.
figuring something out. Like,
but the problem is, you see like one person like make it big. Like, I don't know. I don't have anyone. Maybe you can pull someone's name off the top of your head. But you see like Justin Bieber is famous and rich when he's like 17, and then you see other 17-year-old kids think it's like, oh, that's the norm.
Yeah.
Like they think like that's possible for that to happen, when really like it's not really like that. Like.
Yeah, it's not like it takes a lot. Most of the people that work, it takes a long time to work up to a certain level. Like the majority of people, you know, there's not that many people that can just like work one time, you know, and be like, oh, like I can go all the way to the top, like right out of school, you know.
Yeah.
Like I feel like some people think that, like, oh, I'm gonna start up a startup company, you know, and like do this, do that.
Yeah, like, well, what was that thing that you said you went to in like for school or whatever, like conference thing, and it was like all the dumb ideas.
Conference. Oh, the capstone thing that we did. Yeah, design conference. Where we did like we each did a project, and the projects got like displayed and shit, but it was pretty cool because like.
I thought you said you went to like some event in like Boston or something, where they had like a bunch of dumb ideas.
Oh no, that was that. Yeah, I don't remember what that was now. Yeah, that was a thing where like they had this thing for the government. It's like a government thing, and they showed like a bunch of ideas. It was for like Department of Defense, and they showed like a bunch of different like ideas for like technology that they were gonna like display and shit like that. But like the ideas were like not well thought of or anything like that. You know, like they were just like really just like thrown out there. It looked like it was just like college kids that were really smart. Like these are from like the top schools, but they just do not think well through ideas.
Well, that's because they don't have that. Do you think they have that 20 years of engineering experience?
No, they don't. They don't. That's why. So it's like looking back at it
like
now.
You can't manufacture this. This is impossible.
Yeah. Like it's there's things like that. It's like a lot of engineers, at least I wasn't really like this, but a lot of them are like that. Like when they're in college, they make up these ideas. And you just listen to it, and you're like, that cannot be manufactured like that. Like reality is different than science sometimes. Like science is all like real, you know what I mean? But like sometimes the way things actually aren't like how they were on your piece of paper you designed it as.
Yeah.
Like the way that it's going to be done isn't like how it was scientifically done, like on paper. So I think a lot of engineers get confused with that. At least young engineers do, and like we're still young engineers, but like a lot of them that went to like the top schools do that like all the time. They're smart. They're very smart people, but they're almost like too smart for their own good. Like they think so hard about one thing, and they're stuck on that idea, but they don't understand the outside forces that are also contributing to that idea actually being produced, which is like manufacturing costs, like you know, like that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like there's this thing in manufacturing. I think it's called design for X or design for X's or something. Like manufacturability, like reliability. Shit like that. Like it's a bunch of different shit like that. I forget what it all is, but there's a bunch of different ones on there that you have to design for. And if you
I forget what it is.
Forget what it all is.
No, it's called. I heard that like design for reliability or something.
Yeah, they call it like design for X's.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of different
X
terms
that
are
ones,
in there, and you basically that's how you're supposed to build your design around.
Yeah, and there's like a famous one too. I think it was like design for blank or whatever. Design for
Yeah. Obviously, I've never really like desired being in manufacturing as much, so like I've never really researched it or really thought really heavily when I was like looking at it to like remember it. But
yeah, that's that though.
But that's that. That's how you're supposed to really design something, and I think at least when I was at this conference, I think the one thing that happened there was no one really designed anything like that. They didn't go through that process. Where like if you're doing engineering like the right way, you go through a huge process before you like actually build something or like show what you want to build. Like it seemed like at this one that I went to, everyone just sort of showed something that like was cool that they wanted to design. You know what I mean?
Too loud.
Yeah, that they wanted to design, but they just never really could get around to it because they never really thought about how it could actually be built or how it would work. And also when you design something too, another huge thing you're supposed to do is you're supposed to like sort of talk to consumers. That's another thing engineers do too. Or get feedback from people because I remember one of the designs was it was this thing that involved one of those Humvees that the Army drives.
Yeah.
And it was basically a screen that would be on the windshield. So it would display on the windshield.
I remember this, yeah.
I was telling you about this at one time. So it would display on the windshield, and it would be able to detect landmines that would be on the ground. Yeah. But the thing is that like one of the engineers there asked the question like, how would they be able to like see the road like when that's like on the screen? And like one of the engineers up on the stage was like, oh, we haven't really thought about that yet. Like that's really bad. Like if you're an engineer, you have to think about everything, every little thing you have to think about. Like where the fuck is the seatbelt gonna be located? Like you have to think about that. What the fucking dimensions gonna be for the seatbelt? The length of a seatbelt. What is the length that the seatbelt required to fit like any human? You know what I mean? Like it's there's shit like that you have to think about. And that was just one example of something. And then a lot of people too, like a lot of the time too, is like they didn't during this design contest they didn't look at patents, which I found really stupid because like whenever you design something, you have to look up patents.
Oh, like you're saying, like if they existed or
yeah, if they existed already, because like if they exist already, you can't just remake what they're making. You can incorporate ideas from them, but you can't remake exactly what they're making.
Well, you can't. I think
the process.
You can't profit off of it.
Yeah, you can't profit off of it.
I remember I actually did a small little not a class, but like an hour or two with a lawyer, a patent lawyer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he like explained how the patents work and like design patents and stuff. But yeah, you're right. Because I remember when I worked for this other company or whatever.
One of the first things you do when you design is do a patent search.
They said you have to. I remember because we had a patent lawyer at the company, and he said whenever you have an idea, just come to him. Don't even email him, or say email like we have to meet, but don't like say it in writing or anything. You have to just go to the lawyer right away, like in words, and explain it to them.
Yeah.
And then they look for it, make sure that there's no patent like on that exact thing.
Yeah.
And then, because I think it's like, it's really weird though.
I had to do it one time because
if you say to me or something, if you write it down, and then I don't know, you can get like sued. I don't know.
I had to do a patent search one time because for my capstone project I was designing like that automated filtration unit thing, and when I was doing that, like we had to look up online to see if there's anything even like remotely close to what we were doing, and there was actually nothing. Like no one's ever done anything to that level of like what we were doing for automation. But you have to. It's actually a really long search. Like we had 5 people searching it.
Oh yeah.
We had.
But there's like millions of stuff out there.
Like we had 5 people searching this shit. You know, like that's pretty intense. So you know, there's a lot of stuff out there, and there's like a bunch of patents. So it's definitely a big thing that when you're engineering, you have to look up, figure it out.
What's the next thing? Wolf Island Road.
The Wolf Island Road talk. Maybe.
Have you looked at? No. What was the? We got a comment.
Oh, we did
or
actually.
An email or something.
Yeah, we
about,
did.
What was this place called? You want to pull this up?
Yeah, I'm going to pull it up.
Yeah, pull up the whole thing.
It was on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got a comment from someone of some place that we want to go check out.
I like the videos. Of the haunted places.
Shit.
We should do more of those.
Because I think the thing with
it's on the Wolf Island one.
Yeah, Wolf Island Road. I know I need to fucking get cellular for my YouTube right now. Guess it wasn't on for some reason.
Oh, you should put up the other phone. Use the other phone.
No, that's fine. I got shit on here. Use the other phone. But yeah, like, so we ended up getting a video here that had a comment on it about a place we should check out in New Bedford. I believe it was on our, it was on one of our podcasts.
It's on the Wolf Island Road,
it was on the
actual video.
Oh, was it? Maybe it was. Yeah, it was this one right here, Wolf Island Road video. So yeah, if you guys haven't checked that out, check out the Wolf Island Road video.
There's a technical difficulties.
Yeah.
I don't know if Ron explained that.
Fort Taber Beach.
Read the whole thing.
Yeah.
Read it out loud. Read it.
Okay, this is from Cheryl Fournier. I'm from New Bedford, Mass. I love any videos with hauntings or ghost hunting. It would be so cool.
With the LOL, add that in.
LOL after ghost hunting. It would be so cool if you both can go to Fort Taber Beach and investigate. A man hung himself about 2 months ago. I actually did read that, like, after I did a little bit of investigating on this. Also, land at Fort Taber was used to bring injured soldiers like my grandfather who served in World War II. So many deaths occur at Fort Taber. I think it would be so cool if you can go and investigate that area. I would love to see a video on it. Great video, guys. So that's one place that I guess we're going to have to go, maybe check out at some point. I don't know. Because we were actually in New Bedford after that video, that Wolf Island video. But, yeah, that's some place that we could definitely go check out. You know, it's something that I think we'd look at, you know. It's a little creepy that someone, like, hung themselves in that place, like, 2 months ago or something, like, according to the comment in this video, it was, like, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind going to some place like at night too.
Yeah.
Like another like a
See, is this place
one.
a state park though? That's the question.
Yeah,
I have.
no,
If it's a state park, we can't go at night.
No, we can't go. I wouldn't go to there at night. Let me put it that way. Let me say.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it's a lot more like what was more fun, Dudley Road or Wolf Island?
Dudley Road, but I think Dudley Road was more fun too because that guy chased our car. So you gotta add that in there, like that was.
Yeah, but even without that part, which one was more fun?
Dudley Road. Easily Dudley Road. Like the thing with Wolf Island. Wolf Island Road was actually sort of disappointing. I didn't think it was that freaky.
We should have went there at pitch black though.
Yeah, the dirt road would have been weird.
Dude, imagine the dirt biker coming by us in the middle of the night. You'd freak out.
Ghost car.
What if that's actually what it was the whole time? There's just a guy on a dirt bike or something going by. People think it's a car.
Dude, the whole ghost car experience they had with that was interesting.
Yeah, but it was funny because we actually saw like a dirt bike or another vehicle go down that road. So it could have just been any other vehicle.
Could have been anything, really.
Yeah.
But it was...
well, it could have been just a normal car.
Yeah, I thought that Wolf Island Road, the beginning part of it, was like pretty normal. The paved.
Yeah, but we should have went later at night as well.
Yeah. I didn't think the cemetery was all that was hyped up to be.
Well, yeah, because it was a cemetery in the middle of the day, isn't it?
Yeah. But it also like wasn't like that big or anything. It didn't really seem that like freaky to me.
What's
the road was freakier, the dirt road.
Yeah. It's too bad we can't go to Dudley Town.
Oh yeah, Dudley Town in Connecticut. I think we mentioned that. Did we mention that in the podcast?
No, you never mentioned that.
Yeah, so we never mentioned like a story, I guess, about like it's a town in Connecticut called Dudley Town apparently, and now it's basically owned by some very rich. I think it's a land company that owns land, one of those real estate companies.
No, but it's like a creepy name. Look it up real quick.
Dudley Town?
Yeah, no, look up the thing that owns it.
Oh yeah.
Just type in like who owns Dudley Town or something.
Dudley Town, Connecticut. Who owns Dudley Town, Connecticut? Googled. Dudley Town, damnedconnecticut.com. So I'm looking at Dudley Town right now on Wikipedia, I guess. So I guess it's in Cornwall, Connecticut. It was abandoned in the 1800s. Since the mid-1920s, the land is occupied by the village has been maintained by a private land trust who worked to reforest the land after decades of agricultural use.
I didn't say the name of it?
No.
There is a name of it somewhere.
Looking at history and everything, I'm not seeing shit. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. I guess.
No. Let me show you. Give me the thing.
Wait, was Blair Witch?
No, it was like modeled.
I can look it up right now. Hold up. Dudley Town. Why would an abandoned village be protected? Oh, Dark Entry Forest Association.
Exactly.
Is the people that own this place now?
Yeah. So your name of your association is the Dark Forest. What is it?
The Dark Forest Association. Dark Entry Forest.
Where? Which one?
Dark Entry Forest.
Dark Entry Forest Association. Just the name of that. Like, what association do you belong to? The Dark Entry Forest Association.
And apparently they're all really rich in this area. That's the other thing. They're all extremely rich.
A lot of cops, too.
Yeah, a lot of cops.
There's some videos on YouTube, but there's always cops, like, busting it up or something.
Yeah.
Because you're not supposed to be down there.
Yeah, I guess
what's the creepiest place you've ever been to?
Creepiest place? I don't know. I've never really been to, like, any real creepy places.
So if you had it rate, like, number one, would it like, be, what would it be?
I don't know,
Dudley Road? Is that where you're at right now? Dudley Road?
I'd be Dudley Road right now. Like,
really? And that's, like, nothing.
Yeah, I don't think I've gone anywhere that's, like, real creepy that I can think of. I don't know. I don't think so, dude. If there's any place that we've really gone to. We haven't gone
I'm saying you in general.
I don't think I have. I'm thinking through places and I just do not know.
Well, it's too bad there's not, like, a good one to go to.
Yeah, it'd be nice if it was a place real close.
We'll have to go to New Bedford, then.
We'll have to go to the Fort Taber, New Bedford.
But then, I'm not expecting much out of that. Like, I'm ready for something. I'm ready to be expecting something.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think we getting there. We getting there that time.
Oh, we have like 20 minutes.
Yeah, we got like 20 minutes left in this. I don't know if we should move to a more shaded spot. We just had the sun creep up.
Yeah, do a little drive around.
So I think I might just do a little drive around real quick here. Probably go over to King's actually, right?
Ooh.
Should we, or?
I don't care. Drive.
I'm just gonna drive over to the King's lot, I guess, right now.
Yeah, but talk while you do it.
We're driving the car right now, guys. Like, but yeah, it's actually an extremely hot day right now in Massachusetts. Like,
I thought you were gonna say an extremely haunted place.
No, dude. I don't think there is. There's not many haunted places near us. You know.
It's on right now.
Is the car not on? Holy shit! How the fuck is it driving right now?
It's not driving. It's reversing.
Oh, it's reversing down the hill.
Yeah.
Wow. Stupid Ron moment, guys. You didn't notice that either at first.
So I think the scariest place is Rutland. Do you think that's worth it?
I think Rutland's really worth it, yeah.
Like at nighttime?
I think Rutland during the night would be a very interesting place for us to go check out. Just watch out for the phone falling right now. But yeah, the thing with Rutland that really intrigues me is just the history around it.
What's the history around it?
Remember how we discussed? I think we discussed it in previous podcasts, but
I think we really brought it up that much.
Basically, the whole thing about we didn't bring it up too much. The whole thing about how it used to be like a prison and it only was in operation for like 20-something years or something.
Oh, it was like a failed prison.
It was like a failed prison, but it was actually like not an awful prison from what we were hearing, from what I was reading, compared to a lot of prisons. And I think the reason for this was that they provided a lot of the criminals there with work, which was always good, you know? And they provided them with, I think there was also schooling there.
Really?
Yeah, there was schooling there, and it was like a lot of work going on, so.
Larry Pollock action.
Wasn't bad. Pollock. But yeah, I think it would be an interesting place to search. There's still some standing buildings there, which I find really cool. Like, I like how they're trying to preserve the place, you know what I mean? I think that's interesting.
You know what I wouldn't mind checking out is like just some abandoned place at night.
Yeah.
That's haunted.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be cool to check it out, you know? Figure out what the hell's going on with it. Because, I think the thing that's cool about that place, too, is how they just preserve, like, the one cell in the garden cellar they have there. I think that was pretty interesting.
Oh, a garden cellar?
Yeah, they had remember the garden cellar there that they had? The underground cellar they had there? That was pretty cool, too, dude. Should we shoot a pool game today? Next,
let's see, what's that over there?
Hunter Protective Services.
Oh, God.
That's the protective services that...
Actually, Ron, go this way real quick.
Hit into that Sports Accord.
Yeah, keep going around. Go up there.
Can we go that way?
Yeah, go up there. Nice and shady.
What the fuck is this? Oh, wow, it actually leads to the back of this area.
And this is what, the hotel you're saying?
So, yeah, this was the hotel that we were, we never talked about it on the podcast, but they have a really nice new, like, hotel unit back here. It's pretty cool.
These guys back here.
Some guys smoking a cig back here, chilling. I'll be doing the same fucking thing. Wow, a lot of shade up here, though.
Yeah, right here. No, I'm just, you can't do it right
You smell weed?
here. Yeah, I don't think that was a cigarette.
Yeah, hey, guys smoking a J. I wish we could get in on that. Yeah. That was pretty funny. So there's a guy smoking a J outside this really nice fucking hotel.
I wouldn't say it's really nice.
I know, this isn't the nice one. The nice one's on the other side. This is more, what is this?
Oh, look at this. Look at this, though.
Cool.
We need to cut these trees now.
Yeah.
That's not very environmentally friendly,
But yeah, this is,
Should we go in?
Hell no. I'm not going into the Candlewood Suite. Sir, do you have a room here? Yeah, we do. Jeez, but yeah, I think Rutland should be our next go around. Oh yeah, you can see the Wendy's is right down there, right? Ooh, ooh.
Ooh. No, I don't think we're over by that. We're not. Oh no, you're right. You can see it from there.
yeah, it's right down there. Jeez.
All right, rant.
I don't even know what the hell my rant would be about. We sort of like ranted early again, but like I don't know what my rant would totally be about today. Oh, you know what? I do have a little bit of a rant here. I do have a little bit of a rant. I want to know what your opinion is on this too. So I don't know if you knew, Tom Brady came out with his own book.
I have an opinion.
I bought the book because I just like reading about health stuff. Like it's something I like reading about. So I'm like, I'm gonna buy the book and I'm gonna see what Brady has to say. A lot of stuff in that book, man. I don't know. I don't think Brady has a scientific backing on some of the stuff in the book.
So I guess this is my only one thing I have to say about this, and then we'll see what you say.
And that's what my argument
is about it. We'll see what you have to think, or we'll see what you think about what I have to say. So I don't even know what Tom Brady's book is. It TD-12 or TB-12?
TB-12 method.
What's the other one thing called? TD-24? What's that thing called? What's that thing though?
Oh, T24. That's a beach body workout though, and actually is good reviews.
Okay, no, TB-12. But the one thing that I know how Brady has like this diet or something, and that Gronk's been like, he has his personal trainer, right?
Dude, but you know about his personal trainer though. Apparently he claimed he was a doctor and isn't actually a doctor.
Yeah, but okay.
And he's like claimed a bunch of shit that isn't right.
And he like trained Gronk a little bit or something now too.
Yeah.
Alright, so but this is my point about when Brady says or when anyone says this is my workout regimen or my training regimen.
It works for them.
Training, yeah. Okay, so Brady's the number one all-time QB in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
So he's the best QB athlete that there is. So when he trains, he's training to be the best QB in the whole NFL.
Yeah.
That's how he's training for that goal.
QB.
For being the best QB.
Yeah.
So that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
And that workout is going to work for him because he's the best. For him and maybe aspiring quarterbacks that are at the professional level.
That's about it.
But do you get that Brady's the best? Maybe of all time?
Yeah.
Up there with, who's the Marino? Dan Marino?
Probably up there with, like, Joe Montana.
Yeah, Montana.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, up there with Montana. He's, like, one of the best. This is like if you went up to Arnold Schwarzenegger, or you went up to Ronnie Coleman, and you were like, yeah, let's just do a Ronnie Coleman workout.
Yeah.
When you're just an average guy off the street.
Exactly.
Do you get that, like, Arnold has been training for years and stuff just to, like... For him.
I guess my rant is about this though. My rant is more about like
it's gonna work for them.
People are gonna buy this stuff thinking that it's gonna get them in like amazing shape.
Yeah, but it's
not. It's not supposed to. It's not meant to do it. This book, the reason I bought it is because I want to read how the best quarterback of all time works out. I didn't buy it so that I was gonna work out like Brady.
Yeah, exactly.
I bought it because I want to see how Brady works out every fucking day.
Yeah.
I wanted to see it. I was intrigued by it. I wanted to read that. And I think people, talk show radio hosts in fucking Boston are getting confused too, Felger and Maz. Getting fucking confused because they don't understand it either. They don't fucking understand. This book was not meant for you to fucking emulate Brady's workout routine.
Yeah,
he even says in the back fucking cover of the book that this is how he worked out. This is what worked for him, and he hopes that maybe you take a few things from it. If you please to. If it's something that you think you could do or it would work for you, then you take a few things from it. It wasn't fucking designed for you to pick it up like a fucking, what the fuck is that beach body workout called? That everyone...
TB-25?
Not the one that I do, the other one that everyone talks about. The one with the weightlifting. P90X. It's not a P90X workout. This isn't a P90X workout book. This is a fucking... workout book from someone that's been doing it for years, this workout. For someone that's been, like, doing this regimen every day he wakes up, this is what he does to get ready to play football. Mentally and physically prepared to play football.
Yeah, that one thing.
Every week. The one thing he does once a week.
That he's the best at.
That he is the best at in the whole world. He's not trying to make you insanely in shape. He's not doing that. Now, am I saying that? Am I saying, like, not if you do some of the stuff in this book, it's not going to give you any benefits. No, I'm not saying that. If you do, I bet if you do some stuff that are in the book, you're going to live a happier, healthier life. I guarantee
but you're
that.
saying, I think you're saying this, right, Ron? You're saying like, okay, you can watch Arnold work out and watch like Arnold Schwarzenegger workouts and stuff.
Yeah.
But don't expect to jump on an Arnold Schwarzenegger training regimen the next day.
Yeah,
because Arnold's the best at the body. Like, you know what I mean? He's one of the best bodybuilders of all time.
Yeah.
First of all, and that's his job. That's his job to do that. And you know what I mean? He's the best at it too.
I'm lucky if I run 3 times a week now because I'm so busy with work.
So it's definitely it's the same thing. Like, it's cool to see what they do and how they do it. Kind of like it would be cool to see like Mayweather, his routine and how he trained, just to see what it was like and to learn from that, but not to emulate the same thing, because you're not going to get the same results. You're not going to be Arnold by doing Arnold workouts.
Now, what I will agree on with the people that are ranting and bashing Brady for this is when he talks about concussion water and like mind exercises and how they will like heal concussions. I will agree with Felger and Maz and other people with that. That's bullshit. There's no way there's water that can cure a concussion. Your brain's fucking physically moving in your head, Brady. You might be the best quarterback of all time, but you can't talk about concussions, bro. It's like they're pretty fucking big topic in medical field right now too, and it's also like concussions. Like, drinking water is not going to limit your concussion. You're not going to drink. There's no certain kind of water that eliminates a concussion.
Yeah, well, you're just saying like don't take medical advice from someone that isn't.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically what I'm saying in that case. Like, Brady's not a doctor. I wouldn't listen to that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But like everything else in the book, I don't have a problem with any of that other shit. I think it's perfectly fine that he says that stuff. Like,
I don't know. Like, definitely read it and learn from it.
Yeah.
But just don't think by drinking smoothies and doing workouts that you're gonna be Tom Brady the next day.
Yeah, or that you're gonna be like in better shape right away either. Like that you do that and you're gonna be it might not even work for you. You might be doing that kind of stuff and gaining weight and like not getting in shape. Who knows? Everyone's body's different. Like you can take things that other people don't take, and like there's people that eat fast food all the time and don't gain weight.
But you should. I guess your point though is like, don't start doing like a specific training right off. Well, I guess that's another point too.
Yeah.
Is that this is I don't know. I didn't really read the book or look at it or anything.
Yeah.
If this is like say it was like a boxing book or whatever, and a specific training specifically for boxing.
Yeah.
Right. Like, if you're already completely out of shape.
Yeah.
Why are you gonna start? You know what I mean? Why are you gonna pick like specific boxing workouts to improve like speed? Like, why are you doing that when you're already you can't even run a mile?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's definitely, I bet other athletes would read it and like pick up stuff on it.
Yeah.
But if you're not, you know what I mean? If you're not in top physical shape, then like it's cool to read it, but like don't try to emulate it. It's like how you see like don't try this at home.
Yeah.
Like if you're not a professional stunt person or have never tried to do like stunts and stuff, and then you see like some like thing where it's like stunt actor, don't do this at home, and then you see like kids trying to do it, like obviously that's not going to end well. But yeah, okay, wrap it up.
Alright guys, I think that was my rant. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast and everything. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. We'll get this up as quick as we can. I got a new laptop now, so should be able to post this thing quick now instead of having to deal with technical difficulties anymore.
What's for next week? What's the plan? What's the plan? What's upcoming plans?
I'm thinking next week it's just going to probably be another normal podcast for now. Like, we're just going to have to wait it out until we have some time where we can actually go on a trip again or do what we want to really do, you know?
What do we really want to do?
Maybe Rutland's our next adventure. Who knows?
Think so?
Who knows?
Is there anything else on the table?
There's one thing I actually do want to check out. It's actually in Cambridge. I was hearing about it on the radio when I was driving to work a couple days ago. There's apparently a really cool like arcades bar in Cambridge.
Oh yeah.
That's like sort of hidden and hard to find.
Really?
But I was hearing about it on the radio and I heard it's like packed. It's like lit every single night, like during the week.
What is it?
Like this Scott Zolak, who does sports radio in Boston. He does it from 6 a.m. with Yeah, 6 a.m. he does it at, or no, he does it later in the day. He does it right before Felger and Maz get on. But he was talking about how there's a video game bar where they have all retro video games, and you can just go, and it's always packed with like college kids, and they just drink and play games.
Wow.
And it's supposed to be pretty cool, so I sort of want to check it out in Cambridge at some point. So that's probably something I'm going to check out. Probably not tonight, but I'm going to check it out eventually. Probably this weekend. Next weekend.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I'm going to check it out. I think my brother might know about it too, so we got to ask him about it. But that's the upcoming plans. I think Rutland, I want to check that out. And I'm going to keep reading this TB-12 book. And as I keep reading it, I'm probably going to mention some stuff during the podcast about that as well. So that's going to be on there. I think that's all I got, man. So if we're good, peace, everyone. Thanks for listening.